Okay, so a video on the breathing is keep it simple. So I have a feeling that because of all the scars that are going on in the abdominals, you're probably doing quite a bit of this up here, with a tight neck, tight shoulders. And these do help you breathe, but they're secondary muscles. They're not primary breathing muscles because they're too small to be able to lift the weight of your ribs for too long. So if you put your hands here, find your ribs. So is your chest bone, and your ribs attached to your chest bone. There's the bottom of your chest bone, and your ribs come round. You find the curve. So have your hands around there on your ribs, like that, and breathe into your hands. So find the heel of your hands, and that's what you want to breathe into. So you get this feeling that the rib cage is opening up as you breathe in. You might find that when you breathe in, usually when people first start doing this, when they breathe in, they pull their bellies in, because there's this saying, oh, you've got to breathe in, you've got to pull everything in. But when you actually breathe in, you're taking in the oxygen, taking in the air, and you want to create space for it to go. This is why you want the ribs to expand when you breathe in, because that opens up all the space, and when you breathe out, everything just drops down. So you're not pulling in anything when you breathe out, you're not forcing the air out, it's just a normal exhalation. You know, it's going to take time to get your head around that, bit of practice. So work to do, let's say, 2 to 5 breaths a couple of times a day, and then you'll get more used to it, and you can work your way up to doing 40 breaths a day. Break it up into little chunks, 4 tens, something like that. But it could take you 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a couple of months to get to that point, because you've got into a certain pattern, or your brain has got into a certain pattern of breathing, probably a bit shallow, probably a bit more in the chest, and you're trying to bring it more into the diaphragm, because the diaphragm here, most of your back, brings stability to your spine. Your diaphragm is a core muscle, and it's probably trying to stabilize for the transverse abdominis and the erectus abdominis as well, which have been messed about with. So I would pretty much guarantee that your breathing is a bit off as well. So that is a good night and a nice one to work with, because it will help calm down the nervous system, which is probably a bit on fight, flight or freeze at the moment, a bit stressed because of this sacroiliac joint issue. Okay, so happy practicing with the breathing. Quite nice to do lying down, so you haven't got to think about your balance and gravity and all that stuff. But you do it before you get out of bed in the morning, or when you go to bed at night, or if you have the luxury of being able to have an afternoon nap. Do something like that.